So in this video, we will take a look at the larynx, but we will start actually with this bone here, which is called the hyoid bone. Number one is the hyoid bone. This hyoid bone listed below on your sheet, you've got two structures of the bone. This first one here is the lesser horn, and then this part back here, okay, all of this is the greater horn indicated by number 3. So from the front, we can see the two lesser horns, okay, and you might remember seeing that in AP1 on the hyoid bone, but likely not. So here, lesser horn, greater horn. The numbers are just not on both sides, they're only on the left side. Okay, over here we have a label for number 4. This is going to be the lateral hyothyroid ligament here because it binds the hyoid bone to the thyroid cartilage here. We would have the same structure on the other side, of course. It's just not labeled. Okay, for the thyrohyoid muscle, again, that would be, there would be, that structure would exist on both sides, but we're doing a lot of this labeling just on the left. And number 12 here is the thyrohyoid muscle. It connects or binds the thyroid cartilage here to the hyoid bone here, okay, hence its name. So now we'll move to our first and our largest piece of cartilage, and that's going to be number 14 right here, represents the thyroid cartilage, which is all of this, okay? And then we can also turn this around and we can see, the side part here of the thyroid cartilage. So if the question says label this cartilage and you see 14, that means you're labeling the whole piece. Listed below thyroid cartilage on your handout, you have got some parts of the thyroid cartilage. And so if the question asked for you to name a part or structure of the hyoid cartilage, then you would be looking at pieces or individual parts. Like number 15 is called the laryngeal protuberance. We can label the horns. Those are labeled on this side. So there is an inferior horn down here, okay, the 16 is right there, and there is a superior horn, okay, it's going to be this part right here, indicated by the 17. On the other side, where it's not so busy with muscles there, they have labeled the tubercles, okay, and so remember a tubercle is just a knot. We have the superior tubercle and we have the inferior tubercle. Connecting those is number 20, and that's just this little ridge here, called the oblique line. Okay, oblique just means diagonal. And then we'll move to the median cricothyroid ligament, and that is this ligament right here, okay? I know the number is here at 22, but it's really, it should be here, and the ligament itself. And so crico is referring to this, okay? This is cricoid cartilage, and this is that thyroid cartilage. So this is the cricothyroid ligament. Okay, and then, so we'll now label this cricoid cartilage piece right here. Now I'm gonna turn this around so you can see that from the front, it kind of looks like it's just one of these C rings that actually begin right here, but it's not, okay? If we follow this around to the back, it's actually a much more complex structure than a little C ring. So number 25 labels what we call the lamina, okay, this flat part here, although that number is actually right here, okay, on this muscle insertion. So this is the lamina, lamina just means a flat plate-like structure. And then the cricothyroid muscle, we're gonna go back to that left side, and you've got two numbers here, 28 and 29. Those are just two parts of the cricothyroid muscle. So again, those connect or bind the cricoid cartilage here to the thyroid cartilage above, okay, hence the name. All right, and then we're gonna go back here to the arytenoid cartilages, which are these, okay, that's a paired cartilage. And we just wanted 32 is the number, but that's the only thing on here we're gonna label. So 30, we won't do the other one. So anyway, 32 will be your arytenoid cartilage, but you have two. And then number 33 is going to be the corniculate cartilages. These are the tiny little pieces on the top. Okay, also paired. The vocal ligament is in here. Okay, so number 39, right here is the vocal ligament. Really, this is supposed to be for this whole like inner piece. Well, it's a vocal ligament, or we say like true vocal cords here for 39. Either one of those would be fine. And then number 40 is the elastic cone. You could also, for that one, write false vocal cords as the supporting structures. So anyway, those are those two numbers. Really and truly for 39 and 40, either one, vocal cords would work, okay, for those answers. Okay, I hope that's not too confusing. The number placement here is not the best for distinguishing between those two parts. Okay, and then for the next one, okay, we're going to take a look at what we call the epiglottis here. So let me turn this around. You can see this epiglottis. This is that piece of elastic cartilage that closes the trachea when we swallow, kind of seals that off so that what we swallow goes down the esophagus and not the trachea. So 49 at the top, at the top here is the epiglottis. So for that, I would say label this whole piece of cartilage, or label this piece of cartilage, and this piece is the epiglottis, 49. The lamina of the epiglottis is going to be on the back here, okay, on this top part. Lamina, again, just means flat plate-like, okay, area here. And then for petiole, I'm going to come back to the front. On the bottom here, this is the petiole, and petiole means stalk, okay? See how that's a tapered section? That's the stalk of the epiglottis, but we want to use the word petiole. And then the tubercle of the epiglottis is going to be back here, and remember, tubercle just means knot, and so let me turn it this way, and you can kind of see, well, it's not focusing very well, you can kind of see that this is a raised area right here. Okay, you can run your finger across it and you can feel that it's kind of raised. Okay, and then we're going to do tracheal cartilage, down here, and that's 53. The one right below it would be tracheal cartilage as well. You could also, of course, put C ring, okay, like the letter C, ring. That's what we call these in lecture. And then the annular ligament is going to be 54 here. Okay, 54 between, it's the ligament, white for ligament, between those C rings. And then the membranous portion of the trachea is going to be back here. Okay, so that's the open part of the C rings. The esophagus, of course, butts up against this section here. So that's the, beneath there would be trachealis muscle. We talked about that in lecture class. Okay, so that is the larynx.